Hi there. If you're looking to apply to a program at a university abroad, then I have 5 tips to help you, shortlist the best universities and colleges for any program, for any master's level degree program. In the next video, in a previous video, I did sort of highlight the kind of red flags that will stand out if you want to avoid getting duped by fake universities. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about universities in the US that waive off the GRE requirements for their master's programs. So do keep watching our channel. My name is Anand Venkatesan. I'm the founder of this platform called mentorscapital.com. We have a very, very large pool of mentors that come from diverse fields, disciplines, and universities, even locations abroad. And backed by the collective experiences of these mentors, we believe that we can get you the best possible advice in order to get the favorable outcomes you need to create a successful career in a university abroad. Well, this video is about 5 tips that you can use in shortlisting universities for a program of your choice. Tip number 1: make sure that most students actually end up looking at college rankings, and indeed there is nothing wrong with college rankings. Making a list based on the top ranked schools or colleges on US News or QS World rankings is actually a good idea. But I guess what I want to caution you about is not to use rankings as the sole criteria, right? In fact, it can be pretty tedious because based on rankings, you'll only be applying, to a select group of universities or colleges that might actually be quite hard for you to get admission to, right? So I think the smarter method, in any case, it doesn't really serve your purpose, which is a successful career and not, not just a top-ranked university, right? So I would suggest that you go with a mix of ranking and course information, because the program information should actually be of prime importance to you, right? What are the subjects that the course teaches? What is the structure of the program? Is it a blended course? Is it going to be delivered in class? Is it going to be delivered on weekdays, weekends? Is it a thesis-based or research-based program, or is it a professional project-based program? What's the title of the course? What are the electives offered? Who are the faculty that I will be learning from? What are the facilities that the university and the department offers for a master's candidate such as myself? Do they have specialized equipment that could be learning the use of which could be critical for me in the future, right? Especially if you're getting into the field of biomedicine or technical fields of study like robotics, the kind of labs and the pedigree of labs that they have. And equally important is are the qualifications of your professors and faculty members and research advisors, right? So all of these parameters are as important as the rankings, right? And I think the mistake most of us make is to believe that only the top 20 or 50 ranked schools are the ones that have these kind of favorable factors. But trust me, once you get into your research, and once you do deep research into colleges, then a lot of information published on their websites can actually convince you that the program is indeed one that is suited for your needs and your requirements. Because remember, the important fact is, question that you need to answer is, what matters to me, right? When I choose a program for a master's, which department should I choose and why? What is important? And well, I think this also is a matter of introspection, because do you care about the brand? Do you care about jobs? Do you care about learning from the best people, or do you care about projects that are cutting edge and that are advanced and deciding the shape of that particular field or discipline? So there are many things that colleges can take an edge over others, right? And you need to find your niche. You need to find what matters to you. As important as this parameter as compared to the rankings. Well, number 2, make sure I did say that don't just apply to the top ranked universities, because end of the day you need to match and meet the admission requirements to the university you're applying for, right? Well, most programs can end up requiring some sort of relevant work experience, so some prior professional engagement that exposes you to research in that field. They could also include some requirement for standardized testing, although I think today's the season of GMAT GRE waivers. In fact, watch out for my next video where I'm going to talk about exactly that. But also remember that there are very specific degree or program specific requirements too, right? A program in data analytics can certainly require you to have studied high school math, calculus, statistics, and so on and so forth. Or at the other end, a management program, a master's in management program, could actually tell you that we need graduates who have done non-business programs in their undergraduate course, which means if you've studied a BBA or a BCom, then you're not eligible to apply, right? And so these program-specific admission requirements need to be looked at very, very carefully at the stage of shortlisting, right? And make sure that you don't apply and waste your time applying to the university where you don't meet these basic criteria. Okay. Number 3, make sure that you also look at the facilities available for jobs and the prospects for getting one, and also networking, which obviously is a big enabler of you getting a dream job, right? And most times this actually, you would know that this is not like India. There is no campus placement in universities abroad, but what does matter is the ability to contact the right people, is to attract their attention and be able to impress them, right? And so what you need to identify is the first of all, look at the prospective companies that have visited or recruited from the college or department in the past. The past track record of how many candidates were selected on a year-on-year basis, how well is the business doing, could probably tell you about future prospects for yourself. And also, I think also look to segment that information into which are the firms which preferred hiring international students, because that becomes an additional criteria, that becomes an additional pain point for an employer. In fact, if you can find somebody whose visa has been sponsored by a company, then that's the kind of place that you would prefer to study in. And besides this, obviously, when you're shortlisting universities, keep in mind that different geographies tend to be hubs for different kind of research and manufacturing, right? So thus, for example, if it's automobiles and things related to engineering, then Germany is a preferred destination. But when it comes to data science and analytics and maybe Canada, maybe Ireland are better off places to go to. On the other hand, if it's biomedicine and technical fields of study, then maybe and you're looking to make a professional career there, then maybe studying around California might be a good idea. So these are broad tips that you can use in order to boost your chances of a successful career, right? So make sure that you do your research on these parameters. And it goes without saying, when you're preparing a list of universities, then you also need to assess the budgets, right? The estimate of what the total cost of education will be would include the tuition as well as living expenses. Maybe also account for a little bit of travel and a little bit of leisure activities, that you would do in your breaks. But also know about not just the cost that you will incur, but also the sources available to fund your education, right? Does the university offer a scholarship, right? I don't mean to say don't choose universities that don't offer scholarships, but the fact that there is a scholarship in place that could support your that could support you meeting your financial requirements, and understanding and assessing the criteria, and also past sort of grants that students have gotten, and maybe even connect with a few students to understand why these kind of how you can avail of such opportunities is actually going to be very, very important for you. Obviously, it's all very, very personal. Some candidates prefer to go to universities which do offer a scholarship. Otherwise, I don't shortlist that university. And at the other end, I think a second group might say that, hey, I'm looking to do an Ivy League education, get a branded education, and I don't care whether I need to pay some extra money for it. But I think that is something that I would, that's an opportunity I would like to give myself. So it all depends on the personal preferences you have, how much of a urgency is your doing the course, and maybe budget, sponsorship, and funding sources could be secondary in that case, right? And now, last but not the least, do assess the weather of the country in the location you're going to, right? And I think important is to keep in mind that while US and Canada are large countries, which means that their weather can really fluctuate depending on where you are, right? And thus, for example, the standard of living in, for example, in New York is going to be vastly different from that in Arizona, right? If you're applying to Canada, know that it can be in the winter months, it can go, very, very cold. And in fact, there are parts of Canada which can reach temperatures of minus 40 degrees Celsius, right? Which is very, very hard and extreme conditions for anybody to face unless you've prepared yourself mentally, and obviously possess the physical, prowess to do so, right? And so assessing these parameters is important because you need to be at your healthy best, and you need to be, motivated, and you need to possess that concentration of mind in order to do well in your education, academics, and networking, leading to the success that you wish to achieve in your life. So make sure that you don't ignore weather, that you do read up and learn how to adapt even before you join the program in the foreign country, right? I do say that most of all, we believe in the power of mentorship, and our entire gamut of services centers and hinges around the big pool of mentors that we have, and so we can offer you expert services on how to prepare for the GMAT or the GRE, and in fact go even deeper into how to make the most of the mock taking process, something that most students don't focus upon, right? Besides that, we also help students craft application essays, LORs, statement of purpose, and most importantly, once we get you a shortlist, right? And obviously, what goes into getting a shortlist is also a long process of self-introspection and finding what works for you, the hook that works for you. But finally, we also help you, crack the interview, present a very, very strong, assertive self in the interviews that can really improve your chances of succeeding in the application admission process, right? I thank you for your time. I hope you liked this video. Do let me know in the comment section, like this video if you thought this was useful. If you have any queries for us, make sure that you click the link in the description, and let me know about any queries that I would be gladly answering with you over a one-on-one mentorship call. Thank you. Have a great day, and wish you all the very best.